Okay, what's up guys, Game Fiend Female Games here, and yeah, another week in wrestling has come to an end, and thus it's time for me to bring you another drama script this Saturday. And we're going to start off with Raw. Oh, sorry about that. This week's Raw was the 20-year anniversary. And I don't know why everybody kept saying that this Raw sucked. I mean, Raw was actually okay. It wasn't bad. But I think that everybody had all their, like, balls in one bunch. Like, they expected, like, an extravaganza, and they got hurt because they only really got another just ordinary Raw. I went in watching Raw this Monday expecting nothing. Because I was like, they went all out for their 1000th episode, and then this is their 20-year anniversary, and I was like, I told you 2 weeks ago, I was like, what are they going to do, make Raw 3 hours? They can't, because they already blew that, because Raw is 3 hours every week now. Yes, I know it seems that they're trying to make it seem like The Rock is more important than the 20-year anniversary, but that was their thing. They was like, okay, on the Raw 20th anniversary, you get a Rock concert. But moving on with the highlights of Raw, key matches that stood out to me was Randy Orton versus Wade Barrett. If you didn't watch that match on Raw, I think you should go back and find it. That was an excellent match. And Wade Barrett, the heel in this case, won clean. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of heels winning clean. And he finished Randy Orton with his patented new elbow, which kind of sucks for Chris Hero. Oh, and for those who don't know who Chris Hero is, Cactus Oh No. And FCW, because as we all know, Chris Hero's thing is the elbow. Caitlyn versus Eve. It was an okay match. I feel that Caitlyn needs a little bit more work in the ring, and now she's also our new Divas champion. I'll get more into the undrama scripted news on why this title switch happened, but Caitlyn, I think, needs just a little bit more work in the ring to prove herself. Like, she's not bad. I feel that she's just still a little bit too green. But it was a great match overall. In other news, what happened on this past week Raw, Mick Foley got announced that he's the first inductee of the 2013 Hall of Fame, and I could not be happier. Well, actually, yeah, I couldn't be happier for him. I mean, I've watched him ever since 1997, I'm going to say. 97 or 96. He was actually one of the first reasons why I started watching WWE. Because at the time I was watching WCW, and I was going back and forth between WCW and WWF. And then when Eric Bischoff made the great mistake of promoting the rivalry channel, network, well, the company, saying, oh, Mick Foley wins the championship on Raw. I was like, what? I immediately turned the channel and watched Raw, and I've been watching Raw consistently ever since then. So I'm happy. I don't know who's going to induct Mick Foley. Probably maybe The Rock, because The Rock and Sock connection. Who else had a close relationship to Mick Foley when he was the only person I can think of probably is really The Rock, because the whole Rock and Sock connection, and they were even tag team champions. And then how Mick Foley did to The Rock, "This Is Your Life," and then years later The Rock did the same thing to Mick Foley. So I don't see how. I think The Rock would be the perfect candidate to induct him into the Hall of Fame, and then vice versa when The Rock goes into the Hall of Fame years later. Because we all know The Rock's getting in. I mean, come on. The Rock has to get in. Then Mick Foley would probably do the same. Other things that stood out, the Ric Flair and The Miz promo. As you know, Ric Flair signed a contract with the WWE, but he has to keep his word about the Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair match that they had at WrestleMania a couple years back, that Shawn Michaels retired Ric Flair. Because Ric Flair wants to wrestle, but WWE was like, no, you kind of have to hold that storyline. So they're giving Ric Flair more personal and physical promos. Hence the one he did with CM Punk and The Shield. And now he has the one with The Miz, and Antonio Cesaro came out, and they both beat the crap out of him. And The Miz put him in the figure 4. Other things that stood out to me: the Cena and Dolph match, Cena and Dolph 3, and this time it's in a steel cage. I enjoyed the steel cage match. John Cena won, but I just enjoyed the steel cage. How Big E Langston was, when Cena was about to climb out over the cage, how Big Steve Langston was howling him with the chair. It was like, yo, if you drop down here, you're gonna get hit with a steel chair. And it forced Cena to win the match the alternate way by pinning Dolph Ziggler, and John Cena got the win. I enjoyed that match very well. And the ending was CM Punk and The Rock promo. I skipped The Rock concert because I'm not a fan of The Rock concert. If you're gonna cut a promo, cut a promo. I was never a fan. I only enjoyed it when he did it once back in the SmackDown hotel, but then that wasn't technically a Rock concert per se. But I don't enjoy The Rock concerts, so I don't watch them. When somebody said, "Oh, CM Punk came out," then I turned back. I enjoyed the exchange between them two because they're actually selling a match. Unlike Cena versus The Rock, which had a year build and none of them, they only sold the match the Raw before the actual match, which the past 2 weeks, CM Punk and The Rock have been selling the match great. And I didn't like it that it ended in a brawl. That's the only thing I didn't like about it. On to TNA. The Fallen Angel Christopher Daniels is the #1 contender for the TNA World Heavyweight title, and he's going to get a match against Jeff Neal Hardy next week on Impact. I don't know. It should be a good match. Well, the TNA is going to let the title switch hands on Impact. Who's to say? Because they've been letting Jeff Hardy run through everyone like he's John Cena. Okay, other things I have to talk about on TNA is Gail Kim in the Knockouts division. You had Gail Kim on Genesis run through the Knockouts division, as she should, because she's the most talented knockout, the most talented knockout on the TNA roster. But then you have her lose to Velvet Sky. Then you give her a rematch on Impact because, yes, her foot is under the ropes, and yes, that counts as a rope break. You give her a rematch against Velvet Sky on Impact just to have her lose to Velvet Sky. And that doesn't sit well with me. I get that you're trying to push Velvet Sky, but why are you trying to push her on one of the most talented knockouts that you have? And that doesn't sit right with me. That's just how I feel about it. Bobby Roode and Austin Aries work perfectly together. Their chemistry together, they both have charisma, they both know how to get the crowd to hate them, and the fact that they're together always in promos is just amazing. This is one of the most brilliant things that TNA has done, I think, in their 10-year history, and I enjoy watching them. They're probably at the moment one of the only two reasons. They was right. Austin Aries was right. They are one of the two only reasons that I still watch this freaking Jerry Springer / Mario show, because they're the only ones that are entertaining me. And then we have the Bully Ray wedding. And while watching this wedding, I found out that Brooke Hogan has no friends. Want to say why Brooke Hogan has no friends? It makes sense that Bully Ray's best men for this wedding was Taz, Tommy Dreamer, and Spike Dudley. It makes sense. Wanna know why it makes sense? Because he's known these past three men for the past 22 to 23 years of his life, going with the ECW and then WWE and now TNA. So it makes sense that they're his best men. Now, on the female side, it doesn't make sense why all the face knockouts are there for Brooke Hogan. Like, Brooke Hogan's only been there for what? I think 3 months at the most, maybe 4, and they're her bridesmaidens. No, come on, Brooke. You could have got your real friends there to be your real bridesmaidens. They could have done that, but you put the face knockouts there, which makes me believe that you have no friends, Brooke. And oh yeah, and another Taz is another at the wedding says Taz is an Ace and an Ace member by taking off his jacket. Mind you, we can't see the back of his jacket when he took it off. He had to turn around. That's why the fans reacted, because they saw the aces and eights. But, you know, I think Taz for a split second forgot where the camera was, and then had to turn around and show everybody that, oh, he's an ace member. And I guess for us fans to get to watch, he's going to explain next week, which is going to be weird because you're going to have an announcer as an aces and eights. But then again, they've done that before, because Eric Bischoff was an announcer and he was an NWO member. I think Eric Bischoff is behind the booking in TNA. I think it is. On to SmackDown news. SmackDown started off with a party for Alberto Del Rio, then was briefly interrupted by Dolph Ziggler and Big Show, which led to a match at the end of SmackDown with Alberto Del Rio and Sheamus versus Big Show and Dolph Ziggler. Antonio Cesaro beat Kofi Kingston. The Miz bid Primo with the figure for a leg lock. Looks like the Miz learned the new move from Monday. Kane, Daniel Bryan, and Orton beat Rhodes Scholars and Wade Barrett. And in a promo before the match, Daniel Bryan was like, in order for you to get the World Heavyweight title again, you need a hug. After the match, Randy Orton didn't give no hug. Caitlyn beat Escana. I think I'm pronouncing the name wrong. I'm sorry. And the main event match, Sheamus and Alberto Del Rio beat Big Show and Dolph Ziggler. That was SmackDown, and with a bunch of recaps and repeats and rewatches. In the unscripted news, WWE tries to sign Brock Lesnar for another year. The year is going to be the same as his past deal. He's going to try to be in multiple pay-per-views with multiple big main event stars, as he was with John Cena last year. Carlito was seen backstage on Tuesday's WWE tapings. Take it however you want to take that news. Obviously, not everybody in the world could just go backstage. So maybe Carlito may come back to WWE. Maybe there's contract negotiations going on behind the scenes. Who knows? Take it however you like. It's just, well, I'm just trying to say that I can't. If Raw was at Madison Square Garden, I can't just walk backstage into the locker room. So I'm just putting that out there, that maybe Carlito may be getting a contract or something, or trying to get back. Eve quit the WWE. This whole goes into why Caitlyn is the Divas champion. What JR puts on his blog at jrsbarbecue.com, he puts, Eve quits because he is married to a member of the Grace MMA family, and she will be an instructor for the Grace MMA family, and probably her own product inside the family business as well. That's what JR states on why Eve quit. But from what JR states is that she left on good terms, and WWE and Eve has never had a problem. So she left on good terms, which is also good. That's going to wrap it up for this week's Drama Scripted Saturday. You will always get a Drama Scripted Saturday every Saturday, and please remember to like, rate, and subscribe. And I'm Game Fifi Games, and I'm signing out. Hey guys, thank you for watching my latest video. Here are the ways where you could contact me or get in touch with me or ask me a question if you like. And the annotations to my latest 2 videos should be somewhere on the screen. Alright guys, later guys, peace.